This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, a.k.a. the Python Hyena. And folks, it was 2 years ago, actress Lisa Langlois invited me to be her guest and assistant at Bowl-o-Rama, and I had so much fun that I went back last year. And last year I met a host of really cool people, including the lovely, beautiful, stunning Scream Queen I have on the phone with me today. I'm excited to have her on here. Yes, we have Miss Linnea Quigley. How do you do, Linnea?
I'm doing good, but let me out of this cage.
You're in a cage?
No, remember you kidnapped me, and then you put me in a cage to be on your show. No, you didn't. I'm just...
Yeah, okay. Oh, man, it was
I'm not like the other people. Yeah.
You know what? It was such an honor to meet you last year, because I think that was your second visit to Bowl-o-Rama, and I love that convention.
Yes, it was my second visit, and I love Chris Alexander. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who couldn't love him? And it was my, I think, fourth time in Toronto, and I love it there.
I do too. I just live in a small city here in New Brunswick, so.
I bet it's pretty, though.
Yeah, but Toronto's got so much more going on.
No, yeah, it's like New York clean, like everyone says. It's like a New York that's cleaner and safer.
Yeah. Well, I got some news for you, though, before we get into your films.
Ooh, okay.
You and I are in a movie together.
Let me think. Which one could it be? Already done?
It's, I think it's already done.
Okay. Okay. Let me think. You're in New Brunswick.
Yep.
Oh, boy. You got me. I don't know.
Well, you know what? It was a couple years ago. I'd interviewed an actress named Genevieve Rossi, and she's been on my show twice, and she had connected me because I noticed that she was in the films of of a particular director, and that director was James Balsamo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God! How funny.
Well, here.
Is that where I did that stunt thing or stunt or something like that?
Oh, we're going to get to that. Like, I had him on the show, and
Oh my God.
yeah, back in 2017, I had him on. I think it was September. And one night, I was working at nights at the time, and it was like 4 a.m. I was having my lunch, and I get this message, and I thought nothing of it, but it was a message from James Balsamo. And he asked me if I would shoot my own death scene for Cool as Hell 2. And I just sat and stared at that for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God, that's a weird request.
Well, I called him up because I knew he'd be up, and I said, look, I've seen the people you've had in your movies. Like, I'm not an actor. Why me? And he said, you enjoyed doing my show.
Oh, that is so neat. That's so cool. So now you're a celebrity. You've got an IMDb credit then.
Well, I'm part of 13 Fanboy, which is the new Friday the 13th spinoff. I'm a co-producer on that with, Debbie Sue Voorhees in the bunch.
I don't know her, I don't think.
Well,
but that's very, very cool.
Well, they get a lot of the alumni from that cast in it, and I've interviewed a lot of them, and so I could not say no to that. But
no, that would have been dumb if you did.
Yeah, so I'm a co-producer. Yeah. Well, so James Balsamo has me now in 4 movies, and I'm doing the same thing in all 4 of them. My brother filmed me on my camera phone, just me ranting and drinking coffee. Now,
oh my God, I love it.
so I had to call him up. I said, what do you mean my death scene? Like, what context is my death scene? So when he talked to me about it, I watched the teaser trailer, and there you are singing about badger spray.
That's it, Badger.
Yep.
So
And
funny. It was like one of those made-up things that just, like, okay, go, you know? And it's like, okay, I haven't seen it yet even.
yeah, well, I haven't either, but I got the idea for my death scene from watching your teaser scene.
Oh, okay, so what happened?
Well, I pitched it to him first to see if he'd like it, and he loved it. It's just me stirring my coffee, and then I look at the camera or my phone that my brother's holding, and I say, badger spray, the coffee sweetener with that fatal knockout punch or something like that. And I take a sip of it.
Yeah?
I pause for a minute. I put it down. I pause for a minute, and then I just drop out of frame. It's so cheap, but it's the best I could do.
God, that's great. I love that. That was fast thinking.
Yeah. Well, you're my inspiration. I got the idea from watching your scene, so I thought, well, I'll see how this does.
That is great. I love it. So you actually committed suicide in a way with Badger spray.
Well, he's got me in 4 movies. I haven't seen any of them, but I'm doing basically the same thing in all 4 of them. Me sitting at my sister-in-law's computer desk ranting and drinking coffee. And apparently one of those movies, my scenes are going to be watched by Eric Roberts on a television. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, my God. That's totally nice.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to leave my home.
Can you believe it? Who would have thought that we would be, like, working with Eric Roberts?
Yeah, I never thought I would.
I mean, especially you. I know. It's like, it's cool. It's really cool. It's like, it shows you anything can happen in your life.
Well, I never thought that I'd be friends with Lisa Langlois, but that happened. She invited me. Yeah, that was special.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's funny. We're in the same thing. I would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, well, we're both in that movie.
Oh, my God. Do you know if they're selling it anywhere? Or, like, does he have a website or something?
He does have a website. It's called Acid Bath Productions. And, yep.
We just gave him a big shout out, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to reach out and have him on again later this year to talk about this life-changing thing for me. But, yeah, I was like, sure, I'll shoot this. And because I'm not an actor, you know, but his movies are kind of tongue-in-cheek, so I'm able to not have to be a good performance. And because his sense of humor and the odd stuff that goes on in his movie, I can't ruin it, you know?
No. Nothing can ruin it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun to be able to do. Instead of all serious and like, oh, you've got to get that line right. And, you know, get it word perfect or whatever.
Yeah.
Just have to let you do what you want.
Yeah. So I really appreciated that, and I thought you'd find the story kind of amusing that we're in the same movie.
I love it. Now I can say, oh, I know this guy in the movie with me, and he works with Eric Roberts, and you know, he's so popular. He didn't have to audition.
I guess.
Just tell me you're not a fan of Rush Limbaugh, though.
No, but I love hearing Howard Stern make fun of him.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fine. But it's like when you said ranting and stuff, and drinking coffee, I thought of him. I'm like, oh, no.
Well, I'm kind of lazy with this. Like like I'm not an actor, so I wanted to do something that would be simple, that wouldn't take my brother out of the way, like, you know, bother his schedule, something I could just kind of just do on the spot. So we just did it right in the computer room at his place, you know, and James likes it. He thinks they're funny, so I did something different every one. My character only dies in Cool as Hell 2, but yeah. So I said,
he's good at improv. That's a really good trait to have.
well, I had to think on the spot what I wanted to do, and sometimes James would give me an idea what he wanted me to say, but he told me to make it my own, and I would come up with something. So, yeah. So I'm happy to do it. Yeah. How are you?
Me of like,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. What was you saying? It reminds you of what?
Oh, it reminds me, I don't know if I should say it or not, of a way that you can kill somebody without being caught.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
You know, it's like, we'll talk about it later.
You know, it was wonderful meeting you at the Horror-Rama, and I was right there front row for your panel. I just wondering, I usually save this towards the end of the interview, but you must get a lot of interesting things to sign. What's the most odd thing you've ever been asked to sign?
I think basically just somebody's like body, because then they go get it tattooed, and I think that's so weird because it's such a permanent thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shocks me. I think body parts are the weirdest thing for me to sign. It's like still doing this for so many years, the conventions and the movies, it's still nothing. It's like I'm always surprised about something.
Okay.
I don't take anything for granted. I just did a signing at the Egyptian last night.
Okay.
And it's like this guy was having me sign old movies that I was like, I didn't even know people knew about.
Okay.
Things like that. And when they bring those, that's weird too, because I'm like, how did you find out about this? You know?
Yeah.
You know more about me than I do.
Well, I visited your booth both days at Horror-Rama. I get the VIP, and I got my VIP for this year too. So, looking forward to.
Oh, you lucky! What's the lineup like this year?
They got Lamberto, Bava.
Yeah, the
they,
Italian director. Yeah.
Yep, they got him. They got. Oh, I don't remember the name of the actress. She was in Demons too, though. I can't remember her name.
Geretta?
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. Yep, they got. Yep, they got.
I remember.
They got George.
Maybe?
Yeah, they. I guess they're getting some of the Demons people in. They had asked me. I had the guy from Suspect Video on here, Louis Cerise, and I sent him a list of people I've interviewed to give them kind of an idea of some people to bring in. You know, so.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You should get a kickback.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mentioning it.
Yeah. But
that's really good.
Yeah. Yep, they got Paul Zaza is good to be there, and George. Oh, jeepers! Why am I stalling on his last name? He was in The Brain. Yeah, I'm having one of those days.
God, I can't remember.
And magician Ryan Brown will be there. I've seen him all both years I was there, and he's going to be there again this year. I just had him on my show for the first time back in March. Yep. He was.
You know what really I was like so enamored. They had Kreskin at a couple conventions I was at, and I remember when I was a kid watching him on the Johnny Carson show, and I thought he was so cool. And he's like so spunky. I don't know how old he is, but he's got to be pretty old.
Who are you talking about?
his magic. Kreskin, he was like a psychic.
Okay.
Like he was just like at that time ESP. He had like a game out that I had, like an ESP game, and also a magician too. But he is got to be in his like late 80s. But he's like full of energy and he's happy to be at them. It was just like a dream come true because, you know, when you see somebody when you're a kid and you are like, wow, this is a cool guy, and then you meet them later on, it's like, oh my God, I never dreamed I would meet them.
You probably get that a lot from people.
You know what, I do, and I react the same way as like they do to other people. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you like being... I was going to say, well, how do you like being a scream queen?
Oh, I love it. I loved horror films when I was growing up, so, and I still love them. I think that they've lost a lot of their, you know, I'm not into the psychic phenomena ones or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the ones with Vincent Price and the older ones, the Alfred Hitchcock ones, and, you know, Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and all of those are just so amazingly good.
I had Hitchcock's granddaughter on here 3 years ago.
Oh, God, I've never met her.
Yep, Terry Karuba. He's got 3 granddaughters. I managed to find one of them online, yep.
Now, did they meet him before he died? Or?
Oh, yeah. Actually, she was on the set of The Birds.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
She was fine. I got that one up on my YouTube channel too. And speaking of horror, I did a Bela Lugosi tribute, and I had his son on as well.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Are they like them, or do they go the opposite way? Like, oh, I don't like that, or are they?
Oh, they love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
they love it.
the sons or the granddaughters or whatever are like, oh no, I don't like that kind of stuff.
Well, before I talk to you about some of your horror films, there are a couple of lighter films I do want to ask you about. Like, I know you're uncredited for this, but I've had Alan Arkish on my show twice for Rock and Roll High School, but he did Get Crazy, and I guess you're a groupie in that.
Yes. How'd you find out?
Oh, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and I thought Malcolm McDowell was so hilarious in that movie.
Oh, he is. Oh, my gosh. It was so funny filming with him. And it was like, you know, I was, you know, pretty green to the business and everything because, you know, I was doing extra work or things like that. And in fact, I think the first thing I did extra work was for him on Death
Sport. Yeah. What's
or,
that?
you know, I thought it was like a big deal, but
yeah.
I'm in it for half a second.
And of course, you did a couple.
But to me, it was like 1 hour.
Yeah. Get Crazy was pretty funny, and you're also in a couple of Cheech and Chong movies. What was that like?
That was fun. I became good friends with Cheech Marin, who's a really cool guy, and I haven't seen him for a long time, but you know, we were friends and things like that, and he would come over and would play guitar with my great bass player, and you know, it was just fun. You know, he was just a really nice person, and I never got to really know Tommy though very well.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy knows Tommy very well.
Yeah, really, I don't think so. I guess he's just maybe shy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
But boy, you've done a lot of memorable horror films and memorable roles. Graduation Day, I want to touch on that. When I went I went to Comic-Con earlier this year, and I ran into Louis Cerise, who had Suspect Video set up. He's one of the guys, along with Chris Alexander, that does Horror-Rama, and so I bought Graduation Day from him.
Oh my God, how funny!
Yeah, I gave him some
Oh
business.
my God.
Yeah. You
That's
play.
a real, like, 70s, 80s film, isn't it?
It's 1981. Yeah.
But I meant the look.
Yep.
It just has that feel of, like, all the elements and music and everything of that era. The
Mm-hmm.
clothes.
Yeah. What do you remember about filming this movie?
I remember, okay, I had auditioned for it. And the it's really funny because the girl that was going to do it, they'd shot her, and that changed shooting of everything altogether because they got to the part after shooting with her where she had to go into the music room and show her breasts really
Mm-hmm.
quickly, and she refused to do it. And she thought, oh, I have them under the gun because they've already shot me. Well, they just fired her ass, and I was their, I guess, second choice. And so I got the part, and I'm like, yeah, I want to act. And that's part of it a lot of times that you have to do, especially when you're doing horror films and B movies and starting out. And it was funny because if you notice, it's like it was everybody on the track team, but I wasn't on the track team that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless you know that, you really don't notice it. But I remember meeting Vanna White there.
Yeah. Vanna
Of
White.
herself in an LA Weekly ad for mud wrestling, and I'm like, oh, okay.
What Vanna White
Vanna
was?
White. Yeah, I don't know if it was just used her because of her looks or she really did mud wrestling. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I remember that vividly, and I remember learning a very important lesson of not to eat much at lunch before a killing scene where you have to run a lot.
Okay.
That's really important because you vomit usually.
Okay. Well, Christopher
Because you're
George.
running and running, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it all comes up, especially if you eat a lot.
Yeah. Well, Christopher George was in this, and he was also in Enter the Ninja the same year, where it's often cited as one of the most overacted death scenes in Enter the Ninja. But he had an interesting role in Graduation Day. Do you have any memories of him?
No, I don't, because I didn't get to work with him, unfortunately.
Okay.
They had filmed, like, Ernest Borgnine, the blonde lady, Day, what was it? What was her name? Susan Day, was it?
I think so.
Yeah, they filmed a lot of those people in Canada because of the Screen Actors Guild laws, like you can't film in the States unless it's a SAG film, which is a union film. And so they shot them in Canada where you can do that.
Okay.
And so we didn't get to see them really, but it was neat to be in a movie with them.
Well, you also did Savage Street.
I am so sorry. I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah, I think you get that mixed up with Young Warriors.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
bad. But I remember something in Graduation Day where they did have to film some of the actors in Canada because of that.
Okay.
But it was neat because John Vernon's in it in Graduation Day, and he's also in Savage Street. Wait, is John Vernon in Graduation Day, or is that?
No, he is not.
Oh my God, I'm getting those two mixed up. That's terrible.
He's in Savage Streets.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to talk about that. John Vernon, of course. Yeah, John Vernon cannot escape playing a principal. I mean, I remember him in Animal House giving out double secret probation.
Oh my gosh, you're right. That was such a good role for him too. But I bet he wants to play like the romantic lead maybe, and he never gets to.
No, he got typecast, but he was good at playing it.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, he is. But I do remember, like the one guy that was like, I think he was from Fame or something. He thought he was like really hot, and everything. And he played my boyfriend in Graduation Day. I remember that.
Okay.
So it showed me guys are so narcissistic when they're actors. It's terrible.
Yep. But yeah, you usually play a badass in your movies, and in Savage Streets, you ended up playing kind of a victim here.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Danny's...
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say Danny Steinman directed that, and he, of course, made Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. And I hear a lot about the fact that he used to do direct porn. So I don't know. I hear it's...
Yes.
Yeah. What was your experience working with him?
I love Danny Steinman. He was a really great director because he came in and he knew, the rape scene was going to be, brutal. And we talked about like different things about it, that I would be comfortable with and not comfortable with, and would be too much or not enough and everything. So he wasn't one of these directors that just throws you in and, surprises you like with something horrible. He tells them, push her around and, you know what to expect, at least.
And, of course, Linda Blair.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know who was supposed to be that part, don't you?
No, I don't. Who was?
Oh, my God. We rehearsed with Cherie Curry from The Runaways.
Okay.
And the day before we're going to shoot, we met at the producer's house. And I can't remember his name. He's kind of notorious. But we met there, and then they were talking about, there were some changes and this and that. And they said, okay, it was weird. It was like, they're like, we have a new cast member, and like down these staircase walks Linda Blair, and I'm like, oh my God, Linda Blair, because I'd seen her in all these movies and everything, and so she was like intimidating to me, and I thought they hired a lot of people and fired a lot of people. I thought they were going to fire me because we're basically the same age. I'm blonde with blue-green eyes. She's dark-haired with dark eyes. And I thought, they're going to fire me because of my age being the same, and I'm supposed to be her younger sister. So I was a little afraid of that.
Yeah. But they kept you.
It was amazing to work with her. It was great because I really respected her.
She didn't spew up any split pea soup, huh?
No, she didn't. Oh, my God. I would never, ever say that to her because I know she doesn't like, for some reason, to talk about The Exorcist.
Well, I did have one. Yeah. Well, I do know that you have worked with Eileen Ditz in Clown NATO, and I had Eileen on here back in April, and she gave me contact info for the director there of Sheets, and I took a look at the trailer, and you get to battle some clowns.
Yes, that's right. Yes, the clowns. And I think last year was clown year. It's like everybody had clowns in movies. It was weird.
Yeah.
But Eileen was like the subliminal, like, what was that thing called? The doo-doo or whatever?
She was Pazuzu in The Exorcist, yeah.
Right, where you see it really fast or something?
Yeah. And there's some places where she's actually ragging on the bed, too.
Oh, okay. She is a double or something.
With the makeup on, yeah. There was a few scenes, yep. But yeah, she was a lot of fun to talk to. She talked about Clown NATO, yeah. Now.
Yeah, I'm supposed to play that role, and I think they were a little mad at me, but I liked the role I played better because it was fun. It was like the badass instead of, getting killed or something. So I actually liked it better. But my schedule, I was filming on something else, and I couldn't film that weekend they wanted me.
Yeah.
So it's like I actually liked the part I got better.
One of my favorite movies you did was Silent Night, Deadly Night. You and Antlers will never be the same.
No, every time, like, I see that, like, there was a house that I almost bought, but it was, like, scary because there were antlers on the wall. And I'm like, I don't know, this is a bad omen. I don't think I should get this house, or should I? Because maybe it's a good omen. I don't know. It wasn't good for the deer, so I don't think it would be good for me either. Wouldn't that be weird if I bought it and somehow somebody broke in and put me on antlers?
Oh, I don't even want to think of that.
I don't either.
No. We want you to stay safe.
Horrible way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we want you to stay safe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's why I didn't get that house.
Well, I remember you were saying during the panel, one of the hardest things for you to do in that movie was to hold your breath while the camera was on you just hanging there on the antlers.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was, I wanted to be professional, but it's like so hard when they staged a fight under me and I can't breathe. It was like, because the antlers would, they had them glued on my stomach, and they would just go, move around, and it was, like, hilarious. So I'd have to, like, hold my breath the whole time. I'm like, why do you have to stage a fight under me? Go somewhere else and stage it.
Yeah, they threw an axe at you, and it just hit right into the wall. Talk about the setup for that scene.
Oh, well, that was weird. It was funny because, first of all, the one thing that I think every woman realizes is that when a woman, goes out, like if they're inside, they would put a top on, a long top, before they would put just shorts and go topless upstairs.
Yeah.
But they had to have it that way because the antlers would not show if it was the other way.
Okay.
So that felt unrealistic. But it was like they had a trained cat on set, and I just think it's so funny that I'm in the middle of, making out with my boyfriend, and I'm like, oh, I've got to let the cat in. It's like I'm thinking of the cat instead of that,
He couldn't have been that good.
And, no, he wasn't very good. So it's like I'm like thinking of cats and things. So no, he wasn't that good. So it's like I have to go upstairs right when Santa's coming.
Does Santa still find you every year?
Cool.
Yeah, does Santa still find you every year? No?
Yes, he does. And I get extra good stuff because he killed me.
So you're not on the naughty list?
Well, sometimes.
Well, you're easy to forgive.
Oh, good. That's a good thing, yeah. I try not to do any evil stuff. That's good. Or any bad stuff. But I met him after all these years a couple months ago at a convention, and we did photo ops.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so sweet and nice. It's so weird when you work with somebody that long ago and you see him again, and it's like, well, I haven't aged, but you have.
Did you see the second one?
No, but I heard it was a rehash of the first one or something.
Yeah, but it does have that famous garbage day quote.
What's that?
I can't remember Eric Freeman plays the younger brother of the Santa in the first one. The one that and it talks basically it's about how it traumatized him, And basically the whole movie's a flashback of a lot of the stuff in the first film. I had Lee Harry, the director, on talking about this. And then he gets out and goes on a shooting spree, and it's so odd. This guy's bringing his trash out. He goes, "Garbage day." And the guy looks up, goes, "Huh?" He fires, and it's so awkward. It became a meme online.
It did? I gotta see that then. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I think Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is actually hilarious because Eric Freeman is kind of like the Tommy Wiseau of horror.
Oh my God, how funny!
Yeah.
I worked with him, my boyfriend, on another movie, Murder Weapon.
Who was it? Eric?
Eric Friedman was my boyfriend in another movie called Murder Weapon.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
We're boyfriends. Like we like make out a little bit, and I forget what happens, but it's not good for him, I guess. Something happens.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see that film, but Eric Freeman, for years, he was kind of kept himself out of the spotlight because of the bad reviews he got for Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and I was so happy to hear that he came out and he went to a convention, and he said he had so much fun,
At the convention?
Yeah, he signed little miniature garbage cans for people.
That is hilarious. You know what? You got to embrace the wackiness of this business, and whatever they choose to use and edit together.
Yep.
You really have to.
And of course,
have a good sense of humor about it.
Oh yeah. And of course, you did Return of the Living Dead. You're quite famous for that. Now, I've interviewed Tom Matthews on here, who was in Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, and he talked about being in this film.
Oh, my gosh. What did he say? Did he say he liked it?
Oh, yeah.
With James Kieran and Clu Gallagher and, Don Talfa. You got to work with legends.
Yes, and he got to work with you, and of course you have an interesting look in that film. Talk about getting your makeup and stuff, costume done for this movie.
Oh wow! Well, they were it was obviously a bunch of punks, and they sent me to this hairdresser that still is there, and I can't wait to go get my hair cut by him again and say hi. His name is Attila in West Hollywood. And I went in there, and they wanted to, shave off all my hair. And I thought, oh, God, I'll never get a part. And it's not like they were paying a lot. So I said, oh, please, 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 tell them that it won't work, that my hair will just fall, and in a rain machine. So it actually was true. It would have, but he vouched for that, so they had to make me a wig with a lace front. And then Dan wanted me to shave off my eyebrows, and everybody said, no, don't, because sometimes they don't grow back. So I actually said, no, I can't do that. And then Dan was totally obsessed with how everything was on the shorts and the top, where the skulls were. I mean, he every detail was really, really checked out by him, and it was his vision.
Talk about the scene where you're surrounded by zombies. Now that was quite intense.
That was really weird because I know that a lot of times when I'm doing a documentary about extras, that extras can be very overzealous and they want to all be seen. So I'm thinking, oh, great. They're going to all want to be, in front of the camera, which means I'm going to be going down in this water, and they're going to be fighting for being seen in the scene, and I might drown, or be crushed. So it was a little scary when they called action because I thought, oh, boy, they're really going to, nail me in this water and mud. But they were actually not bad. They weren't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it was a little like intimidating to be, there when they're going to like all, eat your brain.
And of course, you have Nigel Nunez. He was in Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. There's another Friday the 13th alumni in this. Yep. And he plays a character named Spider. Huh?
Yeah, somebody told me they were going to use me, but they couldn't because there were too many return people in it.
Oh, yeah?
And that there was a girl going, oh, I got the part over Linnea Quigley or something like that. I don't know who it was, but somebody told me this.
Okay.
Not too long ago. And then the director, when they said that, said, oh, I could have had Linnea Quigley, and she was just like devastated. He said that.
Oh, wow. Well, you play a character named Trash. Well, what a name, huh?
At first I didn't like it, but now I love it.
It's a good punk name.
At first I'm like, oh, that's not a good name. Because the first name was Leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I thought it was ZZ Top and things like that. And then they changed it to Trash, and I was like, oh, I don't know. That's not a very good name. But now I think it's a cool name.
Yes. Last week I did an interview with Andres Jones, who, of course, talked he talked favorably about you in one of your best movie titles.
Oh, gosh, yes. Sorority Babes and the Slimeball, Bowl-o-Rama. It took me months and months to say that title, but I finally got it down.
It's better than the original title, Imp.
Yeah, exactly. That was another one that I thought, why aren't they, I thought, oh, no. They're changing the title to something so stupid, but now it actually helped the film to be a silly name.
And it's funny, you play a character named Spider, and yet Nigel played a character named Spider in Return of the Living Dead.
You know what? And I don't know if that was like a reason why they called it that or not. I'm not really sure if David Dakota did that on purpose or not. I never did ask him.
Well, I'll tell you somebody.
I love that thing.
Oh, yeah. You got to be an ass kicker, and you even got to say, it's too bad she died. I like that outfit or something like that.
Exactly. It was like, that script was really good. That script was great. And, David Dakota, pretty much most of the actors, he let them do what they wanted, unless they were really off base or something. But it was fun to be able to kind of go, okay, I'm taking this character and, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and, just kind of make it your own. Because I think that's what you should do.
Yeah.
If an actor is good at what they do, just let them do it. Like Clue and I were talking about that on stage last night, about people ask, do you have to do, how much do they direct you and all that? But it's like, for me, it's like I let the dialogue kind of direct me to where it comes out or something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's like on Night of the Demons, it's like the dialogue was so weird that there was no other way for me to say it than the way I said it, for me at least. It'd be interesting to see somebody else's interpretation of it, but for me, that was the only way it could be done.
And of course, you worked with Brink Stevens in this film, as well as Nightmare Sister. It's funny, I first saw Brink in Slumber Party Massacre, and she's just this innocent little victim in it. And it's funny because you see her now and it's like, she doesn't have the innocence.
God, yeah.
What's that?
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. It's funny.
Yeah.
She produced a really good, or she's in that film, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank like you did. The one she produced and directed that I'm in. It's like an Alice in Wonderland type thing, and I can't remember the title of it. But it's good. It's really good.
I'll find out here in a minute.
There's special effects guy on it.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I can't even figure that out.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's really very good. She did a good job.
Yeah. And of course, you were in Nightmare Sisters with her and Michelle Bear.
Yeah.
And
oh my God. Yeah.
I take it you three. You know what? I have not seen Nightmare Sisters, but it's one I've got to see because it just looks like you guys are having a blast in it.
We did because I don't want to give it away, but we got to play, two different types of characters and we're all friends. And so it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's work, but it's fun. And it's amazing because these films, we worked our asses off, but it was fun because they were done in like 3 days. And you have a full movie done in 3 days. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Well, what's it like working with Brink Stevens? You obviously get a good relationship with her.
It's fun. It's really fun. She's more of the serious one. Like Michelle's more like she's kind of like, everything's, she's really helpful. She'll sweep up, like a set and help carry cords or whatever. But like Brink is more serious and quiet to work with.
Okay.
But she's a lot of fun. I think it's because she's so intelligent. A lot of intelligent people don't talk a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you had a few really strange titled films, Creepazoids, and of course Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. I don't know where you get these titles.
I didn't get them. The people did. The other people did. They were not my choices, but yeah, there are a lot of interesting names of the movie. That's for sure.
I actually got you to autograph a picture. I bought a picture from you of you from Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, and
yes.
I got one of that and Night of the Demons with you in the pink dress, and because I came in to your table both days.
I remember that.
Yeah,
that was like so fun. Now I'm trying to think because sometimes they blend together. Was that the one the guy bought me the big cake?
Nope, but that would have been the year before because I wasn't there when you got the cake, but the year I first went, Lisa Langlois and Leslie Donaldson both got cake.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, because I got a picture of Lisa with it. Yeah.
Oh, and I thought I was special. I guess everybody got a cake.
Oh, I wouldn't say everybody, but I think Lisa and Leslie were the only two. Now last year I didn't see anybody get a cake. They should have made you another one.
Oh no. No, oh my God. Well, have you seen The Barn yet? That Jason Seaman did?
No, I have not. You're in that?
Yeah.
You're in a barn?
Well, it's called The Barn, and it's like it's a really interesting story because the director, when he was very, very young, like before a teenager, I think he was 11, took a notebook and he drew all this, like a script and characters and named them and everything in this notebook. And then, I don't know, like 20 years later, he's making the movie. And he still has that notebook. It's like so cool that he wanted this to happen. He put it out there and it happened. And now we're doing The Barn 2, where my character in the first one was a very uptight type of individual that, was very religious and everything and thought Halloween was evil. And in this next one, I get to kick ass.
You must like that.
So fun. Yes, I do. I do. And that's going to be fun. And then you'll love the name. Okay. You thought Sorority Babes was a good name?
Yeah.
I'm doing one that Brett Mullins is doing called Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco. Now, that'll take me about a month to learn, but it's a great title.
I do need to ask, what was it like working with Gunnar Hansen? Because unfortunately, we don't have him with us anymore, and Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers is a perfect movie for him to be in.
It was. I was like, I heard he was going to be in it, and I was like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of my favorites.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to meet Gunnar Hansen. I was so scared. And I met him, and he was just like a big teddy bear. And my battery had gone dead at the end of the day, and he helped jumpstart it. So I'm like, oh my God, Leatherface jumpstarted my car. And I was just like thrilled to meet him because of me loving the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre so much.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah.
Oh, I got to work with Ed Neal a couple years ago, and so it was like a dream come true. He plays the hitchhiker in Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
I've had John Dugan and Terry McMinn from Texas Chainsaw on my show. In fact, Terry McMinn wished me happy birthday today. So.
Oh, it's your birthday?
It's my birthday. I just turned 47.
Oh my God! Happy birthday!
Listen, I want you to sing happy birthday to me.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the handsome man. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Marilyn Monroe one because that's too cliche.
You got to. What's that?
And many more. You know how they say, and any more.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. I was going to say, when you stuck the chainsaw on Gunnar Hansen, you got splashed with a lot of red. What did they use for that?
You know what? I have no idea. I did not ask what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But it was so fun because I think it was Fred was on the side, and they were just throwing all this stuff on me. The more, the merrier, type stuff. And everybody was like, I think, they put it in buckets and were throwing it at me. That's what they were doing.
Well, you look like you were showering in it.
Yeah, I was. I felt like Carrie or something. But it was like so hard because Fred said, you've got to dance sexy with chainsaws. And I was like, how do you dance sexy with two heavy chainsaws? It's like, I was really like seriously going, oh my God, I've got to think how I'm going to dance with these sexy. It was fun though.
And of course,
the music's like so weird.
Yeah. Now you're known quite well for Night of the Demons. I'm just picturing you right now at your house wearing a pink dress and a heart-shaped lipstick on your face.
Well, how did you know? Do you have like a camera or something?
Well,
I actually do have that outfit now. I mean, not the real one, but like a similar one that I wear for photo ops. But I felt really weird in it, like years later wearing something like that. I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid.
Well, you found a new way to carry. What's that?
I wanted to wear Angela's dress, the black one. I liked her outfit better.
Yeah. Well.
Like, God, and she's got the cool black dress, But it worked out.
Yeah, you gave a new place to carry lipstick.
That is so true. Yes.
Stuck it in your nipple.
What? Yeah, but you know what? I think it just kind of like made a new comeback because what they call the bra purse now.
Yeah.
The women put their stuff in their like bras, like wallets and driver's license.
Yeah.
Especially very endowed women. That's what they call the bra purse. I found out.
Okay.
So maybe it started a little trend for some people. It's mainly the people that go to Walmart, but we won't go there.
Yeah, I love that line where you're possessed and you go, see, Susie. Actually, I want you to say it. Say the lines.
Okay. Run, Judy, run. See, Judy, run.
I love that. Gee, why did I say Susie? Judy, yeah.
Well, it's probably been a while since you've seen it, and, today you can't think, so.
Do you ever say that to your manager? Run, Judy, run?
Oh, that's good. No, I haven't, but now I've got to.
Gotta say it.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. I love that. I'll have to say it to her, and she'll be like, what? What do you mean?
What were some of your memories of Night of the Demons? Because you had a really interesting part in that.
Let's see, my memories. Well, I remember, I was like, smitten with the special effects guy, Steve Johnson. And I found out later that Amelia Kincaid was too. So we were both like, I wasn't flirting because I was too shy to flirt. But I remember that. And I remember not wanting to go to the audition because I was so tired of rejection when you go. And they say, oh, you're too old for it. Or, all the stuff they say because they're so critical at things, acting and all that. And I kept saying no to going. I remember that. And so I almost wasn't in it because I kept saying, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to my manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally went. And when I went in, I didn't even have to read. I was shocked. I was like, they said, okay, you have it. And I'm like, what? It was like crazy. And I remember Kevin Tenney, the director, being just so wonderful and funny, and he still is. And I remember, all the cast members and just the camaraderie we all had, and it was just so fun to just play these crazy, teenagers saying "for fucking hell," and all these things. And I did not know the terminology. Like, I didn't know if to say whoosh or whoosh.
Okay.
So it was like, they'd have the camera going around, and I'd be like, thinking in my mind, is it whoosh or whoosh? Why whoosh or whoosh? I'd be like nervous I'd say it wrong.
Yeah. No, that was certainly one of your standout parts, and you certainly gave a new view for shoplifting.
You know what? You're right. I wonder if anybody's ever used that, Bruce, to shoplift. I bet they have.
Well, you certainly were distracting.
Oh, God. I forgot when I went to the drive-in to see it with Steve that was the first scene in the movie. And I'm like watching, and all of a sudden I see a big, it's up on the screen really big. I see somebody's ass, and I'm like, it took me a second, and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I forgot it was the first scene. It totally freaked me out.
And of course, you play one of the souls from Freddy's chest in A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Why did you do just a small bit part like that? Were you a fan of the franchise or what?
Oh yeah, I loved the Freddy things, and my husband Steve Johnson was doing the special effects, and they thought, and Andras Jones was in it, so I thought it would be just kind of fun to do something in it, and it's funny. It's like doing that was, people have me sign the poster for it, and I'm like, well, I'm just a soul in the chest, but they have me sign it. I think it's funny.
Yeah, you don't seem to mind doing makeup effects like in that, and even Night of the Demons.
No.
Like that never gets frustrating for you, huh?
I hate it. I hate it. I had to do it. I haven't done it in a long time. If you've noticed, I hate special effects on my face. I hate it. And, you know, it took forever to do, especially Night of the Demons. It took so many hours and hours. It was horrible.
Especially since you were trying to appeal to the special effects guy, and he was making you uglier.
I know, but it's like, it made me probably cooperate better, you know?
Yeah.
Because he was working on me. So, and you know, it's like, I felt funny, like, you know, just like saying, I have to get up for a minute. I've been sitting here forever, you know, because they took forever to do them. And I was blind when they did the you know, the big scene at the end, because I had contacts that were red I couldn't really see out of, and the teeth in, and all this makeup on. It was like, ah.
And then you
And I would like, you're not supposed to, but I'd tear it off at the end of the night. I'd be like, I hated it.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So I do not like it at all.
Well, you lighten things up a little after that by doing the first two of 6 Vice Academy films. I'm going to be frank, I didn't know there were 6 Vice Academy films until today.
I didn't know there were 6 either.
What were your experience like on that?
Oh, that was really different. I had never worked like that, but Rick Sloan would, you know, I learned to, but it was like he would have us like line up so he could get it, you know, on camera and, you know, not have to do, you know, over the shoulders and, you know, close-ups and everything. And so we'd be in a line and just kind of turn our bodies and heads like a little bit and say, oh, gee, we have to go into the video store, or, you know, it was just so staged. I felt very weird doing it.
Well,
but it was really fun because it was just so silly. So it was a departure. It wasn't scary, and it was a comedy, and it was just fun.
And they had you in the first 2, and after that, they went another way.
I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I'm not going to do anymore. And then I found out they kept saying, oh, we'll pay you more money. We'll pay you more money. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then I went, oh, my God, I could have done that in the first 2 and gotten more money if I just refused.
Now, of course, you did Assault of the Party Nerds. Again, I haven't seen it, but boy, another one of those titles.
Oh, yeah, for Richard Gaba, yeah. Yeah, and I thought of the tagline for the other one he did, Virgin High.
Okay.
I thought of the tagline. It's like, okay, Virgin High, where it's hard to get in.
That's brilliant.
So I was like, I'm very clever about that.
And, you got Pumpkinhead 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff for directing, yep.
Did you like the first one?
Mm-hmm. I love the first one with,
Lance Hendrickson.
What's his name? Oh, my God.
Lance Hendrickson. Yeah.
Lance Hendrickson, yes.
Yeah.
I love that one. It was really moody and really good, I thought.
Yeah.
And then when I do something, I can't judge it because I don't like to watch myself. So it's like I kind of know what's going to happen, and I just can't judge it.
Yeah, and Innocent Blood, you worked with John Landis. What was that experience?
It actually was really good. I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, it's John Landis, and he's done all these big movies. And right before I was going on, he was getting really mad at the extras that come in the room.
Okay.
When John Rickles is, on fire from being a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't reacting. And he was getting more and more frustrated. So he got I could see it, but they couldn't see it. He got a starter pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they come in the room, he fired it off. And he's like, damn it, I can't get you guys to react to anything. He was getting really upset, not mean upset, but just upset that they weren't reacting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was next, I was thinking, oh my God, he is going to crucify me. But he loved it. And I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness. And Steve was in that too. He played one of the orderlies.
Okay.
And he'd done the special effects on it. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, you got a lot of, I know you worked with Charles Sheets and, of course, Clownado and Bonehill Road. I didn't see Bonehill Road, but I did see the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, for no money, it's amazing. He's got a definite, following, too. He's got a big following,
Mm-hmm.
and he works his ass off. Oh, my God. And he comes up with a good product, too.
And, of course, you did your workout video, your chainsaw workout.
Oh, yes. We came up with that, Ken Hall and I, when I was on a set of Murder Weapon, and I had to be swinging this mallet like I'm smashing someone's head.
Yeah.
And I had to do it again and again and again and again and again, just different camera angles and different speeds. And so Ken Hall, when I went back into the green room, he said, wow, that's really a workout. And we both kind of went, hello, and we thought of this idea of doing a horror workout. Why not? Everybody else was having workouts, so we thought, we'll have one too. And that idea was born that day, and it was done the next week in 2 days.
You could have done the 20-minute workout and have Brink Stevens and Michelle Barr on there doing workout with you.
Oh, we could have. I don't know why I never thought of that. But that was, Cynthia Garris is in it. Nick Garris' wife.
Okay.
She plays one of the summer party girls. A little fun fact, because we're really good friends, and she was going to just do the choreography, and one of the girls got lost going to the location.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the first location, which was actually my parents' house, and then she ended up having a breakdown and crying because she was so late, and she couldn't find her way, that she had to go home. She was so upset. So Cynthia was such a good sport, and put on some lingerie and did it, and she was like, I'm so much older, and she was great in it. I think she had fun.
Something I got backtrack a bit here. I was thinking about the lipstick scene in Night of the Demons. When you do the heart on your face, was that improvised or was that in the script? Excuse me.
That's a good question.
Because you're really, yeah.
I think it was in the script.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Did you see me doing it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, then it was improvised.
Now, the part where you put the lipstick in your nipple, they probably had to do a thing on your breast in order to the mold and stuff in order to set that up, right?
Oh yeah, they had to do a life cast of my breast. Yeah, and that's the first time I met them, and it was funny because I had these workout pants on. And I said, well, you know, because I thought they might have a towel or something. I said, do I have to take these off? And, you know, I thought they would get wrecked or something. And they thought I was being like a tart. You know, like, oh, can I take my pants off? You know, but I was just worried about my pants getting messed up. And, you know, they thought it was like something else. I'm like, oh, my God.
So what was that process like? Did that take a long time to do?
No, I don't mind life tasks. I don't like the ones where you have to glue things on your face. You know, I thought it was a cool idea that Joe Augustine came up with. I thought it was really cool. But I never thought it would be like so talked about. You know, because, you know, you're reading the script, you're thinking, okay, but it got like a lot of good attention. So I was like, oh, that's good.
One of the things that you've done that's gotten attention that I think is a wonderful thing, you're very active with PETA and animal rights. You want to plug that on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, last night, coming back from the Egyptian Theater, I'm definitely starting a sanctuary for animals now. Because I bought some land and a house. And last night, I have a rescue cat that needs a home, Thor. And I have now, because last night I'm coming home from the Egyptian Theater, and in the middle of the road, I'm like, there's an animal there. And where I live, there's bobcats and mountain lions and coyotes and everything. And I thought it was a wolf. And I like stopped, and it's a huge Malamute.
Okay.
And it was so exhausted and so thirsty and so hungry. So I get it into the car, and it's in I call my sanctuary. I've still got to do all the paperwork and everything, but it's going to be a nonprofit, you know, organization. It's in there, and somebody just dumped the dog off. And took off. And it's a beautiful Malamute. Probably looking at the teeth, you know, because I just got him like at 1 a.m. Probably about 7 years old.
Okay.
And huge. I mean, this is a huge dog, and it doesn't bark. It's well behaved. It's amazing. So anybody that wants a Malamute that's really sweet and nice and looks like a wolf, you know, let me know. You know, get me through the original Facebook and say you'd like a Malamute.
You know, I don't understand people that get pets and then they pull a stunt like that.
Oh, I don't either. They're evil.
Yep.
Those are evil people.
Well, I know somebody right now whose face should be in every pet store for don't sell this guy animals, because between myself, my parents, and my brother and his wife and other people, we've had to take animals in from this person because he would get animals and then it would be like after the novelty wore off, he wouldn't want to do anything with them. My cat right now is a cat I took in from him. And yeah, I love my cat. And my parents took in an Australian Shepherd from him. And my younger brother and his my younger brother and his wife, they had 2 ferrets from them, you know, and
oh my God, so good of you.
Yeah.
Why did you get them? Does he say, or do you just even realize?
I think he's looking for attention. And he'll get attention, and then after the attention wore off, he needs to find a new fix, so to speak, you know? And I'm like, look, don't do that with animals.
No, I would probably turn him in.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He had a ball python, and he had a turtle. And he let the turtle loose down at the brook and stream by my place. And the turtles probably be okay, but I said to him, I actually said this to him, I said, if you let that ball python loose, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. That's what I said to him.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because, I mean, kids, other animals, that's a danger to.
Yep.
And in Florida, that's what's happened. The Everglades, people would get the ball pythons, and they would get, what's the other one?
Actually, it's the Burmese that's the problem in the Everglades. Ball pythons are apparently good pets, but he traded the ball python to a guy for a tattoo. So a tattoo guy tattoo artist tattooed him and took in the ball python. So at least the ball python had a home with somebody that could take care of it. Mm-hmm. And as far as the Everglades situation, I really hate seeing these snakes hunted down and killed, especially for a TV show that glorifies it. It's like it's not the snake's fault.
No, it's not. It's these people that bring them in and like them and want to, like you said, show off.
Yep.
And then they get the novelty wears off and they just chuck them.
We had a horrible situation happen a few years ago where somebody had I don't know what the relationship was, but he had an African rock python, which are illegal, and I guess it strangled 2 children. And, of course, he owned a bunch of snakes and some alligators and stuff. Here's what really bothered me. They come in, they euthanized the snake, but they also euthanized the other snakes and the alligators the guy had that had nothing to do with it. And the only reason the turtles weren't euthanized is because they were endangered.
Oh, my God.
I was pissed.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. There's got to be stronger laws. I mean, there's starting to be for animals. They are, with the dog fighting and all that, they're starting to get a little bit, like, what's his name, the football player?
Yep.
Was it Vic somebody of the dog fighting ring?
Mm-hmm.
I know he got into trouble, but I know what I would do with these people, but, I'm not going to say it on the air.
Well, I'm not a vegetarian by any means, but I'll say this. I don't understand hunting for sport. And these people, and I won't mention any politicians' sons here, but seeing them smile after taking out some creature.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It says something about their personality and not good.
Nope.
I don't see it either, like for deer and, any animal they hunt. I just think I don't see how they can get pleasure out of doing that.
Yeah. I saw a video once where this safari was going on, and they were filming this. They were following blood patches on the grass, and I guess the guy had wounded a leopard. Now, here's the thing. I think the leopard knew it was done for, but when he came out, he went after the hunter, and he mauled the hunter before the trackers got him.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Very, very glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm so glad.
So I applaud that you love animals.
Oh, yeah. I do. I mean, I'm just like, I've always been like that. I don't think I've ever been without one, ever, ever, ever in my life. I would, sneak them in if I had to, or whatever needs to be done. And that's actually why I bought land and got away from the damn animal control people that, you can only have this many.
Yep.
The shelters are full of animals they're going to kill.
Yeah.
I hate the term put down because it's like they're killing them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand that concept. If they're not causing any problems, even if they are, they're just animals and they're doing what the animals do.
Yep. Is there any way people can support your nonprofit?
Yeah.
Please plug it. Go ahead.
Facebook.
Yeah?
Yeah. the Moulin Rouge after my favorite movie.
Okay.
Because I want it to be, a good place to go, because a lot of them are very sad sounding, like Secondhand Animals and
Okay.
that kind of thing. So it's actually a building that needs a little bit of restoration, like air conditioning, a couple leaks in the ceiling, and the flooring just needs to be redone. Right now, it's just, a refuge for a couple animals right now, because I've just only been here since April.
Okay.
But if they go to my original Facebook, they can help, donate time or volunteer to, if they know how to fix leaks, or if they know how to put flooring down, or anything like that to help it. Or if they have an extra air conditioner.
Okay.
If they have a lot of money, whatever they can do. Because I can't. I was on the freeway risking my life the other day, because this poor dog was terrified, and it crossed 4 lanes of traffic, and then it went back the other way, and I was like so freaked out, it almost got hit by a semi.
Okay.
And I had to, because there was no way I could catch it. It was so terrified. I had to be mean and say, get out of here, to get him to go down away from the freeway.
Yes. So is there a place on there where somebody like myself could donate?
Well, you can through my PayPal.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, and I did this with another actress as well. I want to do a trade-off here, if I may, because I'm involved with a charity that I would love to throw it your way too, but it doesn't involve money.
Oh.
Yeah. And I would donate to your charity in exchange for you to accept a charity challenge.
Oh, neat. Okay.
You remember a few years ago
lipstick in my brush again.
What's that?
I said, hopefully it's not lipstick in my brush again.
No, I won't do that. But you've got a lot of connections, and I'm trying to get the industry involved in this. And you remember when the Ice Bucket Challenge was successful?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, after Robin Williams had passed away, the one came out for suicide and depression, which is something I can relate to, not suicide, but depression. And an organization came out called the Doubtfire Face Challenge. And yeah, I did this challenge, and I threw it out to people I interviewed. It involves you videoing yourself taking a pie in the face, and you nominate 3 people. Now, Lisa Langlois did this, and she even did one with me, and Nancy McLaughlin from Friday the 13th Part 6 did this in front of some of the props from the movie.
Oh, I love it.
And James Balsamo did it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I put them up on YouTube. James is not up there yet because my brother's busy taking care of my folks, and he handles my YouTube stuff, but I thought what I would do, and I made this deal with Heidi Holliker of Valley Girl as well. I donated to one of her animal charities, and she said she's going to do this. And I thought, you know what? I'll make a donation to your charity if you would do a Doubtfire challenge and nominate people like Brink Stevens or whoever it is that you've worked with, so we can get this out there.
Oh, so then they have to do it. Is that?
Yeah, like you do it, and you nominate them after at the end of it.
And it's 3 people you choose?
Sure.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because
I'll do that.
Yeah, I figured that I've done this with people before.
I'll take pumpkin, key lime, whatever.
Yeah, well, at least it's not makeup effects, so it's not 8 hours.
Exactly. No, that sounds great, and I really like that you're supporting the suicide thing because it's really sad. It's horrible. We've lost too many people to suicide when, it's unnecessary.
Absolutely, it is unnecessary, and it's getting rampant. And I'm trying to get this out to some of my interview guests because people want to see people in the industry do this. And so I've thrown this out to people, and I know you've got a connection to, yeah. So
I just film it, have somebody film it,
yep,
and then send it where? Where do I send it?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you my email address. I'll just edit my email address out here, but
Got that. I just got to find someone around here to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't even make the pie, if that's even better.
Well, you know what? You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Excuse me. No. A little frog in my throat there, but yeah, it's just excuse me. But I figured, it'd be a good exchange, and I could help your charity cause. And you could do one of these because I know people will definitely gravitate towards yours, and just nominate 3 people. It doesn't matter who. I would love to encourage you to invite nominate industry people. Like I said, I know you're friends with Brink Stevens, and I know she'd be a hoot in something like this. But whatever you think.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see her do that. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I will do it. So it's Python.
Yep.
.72@hotmail.com.
That's right. That's my email address, and yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It sounds fun, actually. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, there you go.
You're doing a good thing.
Yeah.
People laugh.
Yep. Yep.
Tomorrow's another day, and it might not be so bad tomorrow. It probably won't be. And you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had some
people that you're going to make sad.
Yeah. Well, I've had a few of my guests do this. Like I said, Lisa Langwa, Nancy McLaughlin, James Balsamo did it. I find there's some people I send it out that I think would do it, and then they don't get back to me, and I'm wondering, do they think this is strange or what? And one of the people I even donated to one of their charities. So yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah. Because I figured I would throw that at you. So I have your thing down here, and
okay.
Yeah, and you.
Just to let you know before we have to go or something. There's a really fun thing, July 26th
Mm-hmm.
in Tarzana, California.
Okay.
That is called Punk for Pussies.
Okay.
A cat rescue. It's a cat rescue thing, but they have some really cool punk bands that are going to play. That a lot of them were in the soundtrack from Return of the Living Dead, like CSOL, The Cramps,
Mm-hmm.
all these different people. Some of them that were in the bands that are playing. There's 4 punk bands.
Okay.
And the tickets aren't very expensive or anything, and it's going to help, the cats.
Okay.
On the street, because the cat I had, its brothers and sisters were poisoned, and I got this one, got him neutered, and he, needs a home now to get some love.
I find it funny. I hear neutered from a scream queen, and it just sounds.
I know, really, castrated.
I just picture you, Brink Stevens, and Michelle Burr standing in a triangle circle over that poor cat, and the cat's like, okay.
Like, oh no, I'm going to lose something.
But yeah, what's your Facebook page called?
It's the original Linnea Quigley.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been on that before. So, yeah. So, I'll look that up and.
Where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be, the different dates, and all that.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a donation to your charity, and.
Oh, thank you, and I'll take a pie in the face.
Yep. And you know.
It doesn't have to charge, like I said. If somebody wants to get a hold of me there that does, like I mentioned, roof work or floor work, or just wants to help clean it, or because I deal with right now about 16 animals.
Okay.
It's like having 16 kids, so it's like hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm just dealing with a cat, and that's hard enough.
Oh my God! Yeah, try 16 animals.
But I mean, I love my kitty though, so yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I love you. You're great.
Yeah, I love animals. Like I said, I'm not a vegetarian, but I mean, again, no, I don't understand animal abuse. I can't get past that. People are going to abuse their pets. Why get their pets?
I think what you said, it's a status thing.
Actually, you know what I do with my cat? When I'm at work, I got my cat a ton of toys, and that keeps him busy while I'm gone. And I can tell.
That is so great.
Oh yeah, I can tell there's been some action because I go back that back room. Everything's moved around,
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's funny. He's having a good old time. What's
Yep.
his name?
Skittles.
Oh, I love that name, Skittles.
Yep. Skittles. Yep. He had that name before I got him, and I got a couple of those like little things that's got like the rod and the fish on the end of it, or the squeaky mouse, and that's where I can actively engage with them. Yeah.
Yes, and then they love those, like the cardboard perforated things to scratch on.
I'm actually trying to. I just bought a scratching post for him because he was scratching up a door frame, and I got to get him out of that, and I'm trying to get him to scratch this cardboard, and it's taken a little bit of time to try to get him to do it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Sometimes my dogs and stuff have chewed up. It's always something new that I get, and it's something, that I don't want to not have. So it's like, they know how to get you if they're mad at you.
Yeah. But I mean, I got the perfect.
I've got to go bring out the rescue dog and some more water.
Yeah. Listen, here's another thing too. What do you use for litter box for your cats?
A combination. I love that stuff that is it's biodegradable. It's like little pellets. That's my favorite thing to use.
Actually, what I was getting at, I got this litter box. I got it at Walmart. It comes in 4 parts. It's got a top and a bottom. You get a strainer that you click into the bottom of it, and a scooper that slides into the side. And all you have to do is turn it upside down, and all the encrapment goes into the scooper, and when you tip it back, all the litter that hasn't been used strains out through under the bottom part, and then you just pull the scooper out and dump it.
Oh my God. Once the donations come in, I will buy one of those.
Well, I'll tell you, it takes me about 20 seconds to do this.
Oh my God, how nice.
Yeah, it's and as opposed to the cat kicking litter all over the floor to try to find a place, here he's inside this little round dome thing, and he took right to it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And also, I really encourage very strongly for people to stay and neuter those animals and not say, oh, somebody wants to see the birth of animals, because where are these animals going to go then? And also there's some out there to be saved. So.
Yeah, my cat's been neutered. Mine was neutered before I got him. So, Yeah.
I mean, they don't get cancer
No.
as easy, of the organs, and they don't spray if it's a cat, and if it's a dog, it kind of calms them down a bit, and it's just the best thing to do.
Yeah. And of course, I don't sleep with my cat anymore because I won't get to sleep if my cat comes in my room.
Oh, no. I sleep, and it's horrible. I have like 5 dogs, and I'm on the corner of the bed hanging on. But one of them has a habit now of starting to bark at 6 in the morning until I get up. So I never can sleep in. It's like, it's, of course, the little one. The big ones don't do that. But the little one, is the leader of this ring of getting me up at 6 because it's hungry. So it's actually I hate the feeding time because it's like craziness. When you have like 15 dogs wanting to be fed, and you're like,
It's like It's like Return of the Living Dead when the zombies were being fed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. It's totally like that.
I opened my room one night and my cat came in because I heard him, and I didn't work the next day, so I was fine. My cat jumps up on the bed, walks up on top of my stomach, and he comes up to my chest, and I open my eyes. He's just staring down at me. I'm like, Skittles, I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, my God, how cute.
Yeah.
How cute. I love it.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, go, you're like, oh. And I move my body around where my animals are so I don't disturb them. It's funny.
Sometimes I'll put my cat under the ball blankets, and then he'll wait there for a minute and then try to find his way out.
Oh, yes, I've done that with animals, too. It's so funny. It's actually funny.
Yeah.
Their heads going, oh, and they're like, where am I? It's a new game, kitty cat, Skittles. We're playing. Find your way out.
Find your way out. Yeah. So.
Oh my God! Now I'm going to have to go pretty soon because I've got to go up to the rescue area, the building.
Okay.
Which is a square dancing hall. Believe it or not.
You square dance?
And, no, but the previous people did.
Okay.
It's a square dance hall. Can you believe it? There's speakers out there and everything. It's just hilarious that they used to do that. You can go also to the original Facebook, and my merchandise link is there if they want to buy merchandise. And we could talk for hours and hours and hours, but I can't because of the lusty dog, and it's got lots of fur, and it's hot out today, so I got to make sure the water's there.
Well, you know what? I'm going to make a donation for you. And like I said, and in return for a Doubtfire face challenge. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll nominate after I get my 3 people. I'll get Brink. And because obviously I think you have a crush on her.
Sure. I love Brink. I got to get her on here, too.
Yeah. I'll tell her that it's a lot of fun to talk to you. So, yeah.
And you've met me, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So I know you're not some weirdo.
Well, you've had a lot of weirdo film experience, so nothing should surprise you.
No, you're right. It doesn't. It's like, what? Oh, okay.
Well, first off, I want to say a thank you to Judy Fox for setting this up. She has been so lovely.
She's great. I love Judy.
Yep. Well, before I let you go and tend to your animals, could I get you to do a plug for my show?
Yes.
Okay. You ready?
I got it.
Shoot.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Linnea Quigley, if you want to use that. But you are listening to Greg Gilbert's Python Paradise out of New Brunswick, Canada.
Love you, Linnea. I'm so honored to meet you. And I'd love to stick.
Again.
What's that?
Again, we meet.
Again we meet. And I do hope Chris Alexander brings you back to Horror-Rama.
I do too, because it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. I liked it better than Comic-Con because I found it was a little more intimate with the people that came, yeah.
It's much more fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you get to your animals.
Okay.
Oh, God bless you, and thank you so much for blessing my show with your presence.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much for having me on and, helping the animal sanctuary.
I will do that, yes, absolutely. You take care, and you have yourself a Scream Queen of a day.
Okay, you have a Scream King kind of day.
You take care.
Okay, bye-bye for now.
What's that?
Goodbye right now, for now, anyway.
For now, that's right. You take care.
Right. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.